Hey guys, NES Addict here, and today we're going to talk about the Sega Game Gear. All that and more next. Growing up, I was an NES kid. Between the awesome games and killer advertisements, I saw all other systems as wannabes. So when the 16-bit wars waged for our allowance money, it's no wonder I stuck with the brand I knew best. But due to the stellar advertising, I couldn't help but wonder if I was missing out on what Sega had to offer. Namely, that blue hedgehog that was faster than fast. With parents who would only allow me to have one console, I was out of luck to experience the next level. Until I convinced them that I needed a way to play games on the go, and that's where the Game Gear comes into play. It was Christmas of 1993. And every kid I knew either already had a copy of Mortal Kombat or was getting one for Christmas, and I didn't want to be left out. But I didn't want the watered down version of Mortal Kombat that was on the Super Nintendo, so I opted to ask for it on the Game Gear. But the problem was, I didn't even have a Game Gear, so I had bigger fish to fry at this point. So I'm sure you guys are wondering what happened. Well, Christmas Eve of 1993, my dad and I were getting ready to drive down to Johnsonville, South Carolina to see my sister and my brand new niece. And that was the night I convinced him to take me to Service Merchandise and not only get a Sega Game Gear, but a copy of Mortal Kombat, the most controversial game at the time. And it was a big deal that I even got it, because my dad was a Baptist minister. And if he had heard anything about this blood code, I might not have gotten it. So with that little backstory out of the way, let's dive into the games that I got for the Game Gear when I was a kid. So this is actually the second Game Gear I've ever owned. The first Game Gear I got, I had for about a week, and I did something to where some water vapor got underneath the screen. So when I got back from Myrtle Beach, I took it back and picked up this one. So this is the Game Gear I've played most of my life. It's got a few scratches, but it's my Game Gear and I love it. So let's talk about some of the games I got as a kid. Well, packed in with my Sega Game Gear, I got Sonic and Tails. The problem is I have two copies now, and I have no clue which one's the original. It's kind of funny too, because there is a slight color variation which you can't see because they're in this case. But one of them is a little lighter than the other. Maybe you can see that on camera there. I think the one on the right there, that blue is a little lighter than the one on the left. And also, here is my original Mortal Kombat that I got December 24th, 1993. And I played the crap out of this game all the way to Myrtle Beach that night, trying my best to get to Goro. But man, those mirror matches, they were a pain, especially when you like to play with Scorpion. The next game that I got that Christmas was a game that I had been very intrigued by the commercials. And I didn't mind if it was on Game Gear, it still looked awesome to me. And that game was Echo the Dolphin. And I actually beat this game while I was on vacation for Christmas break that year. And I loved it. The final game that I got for my Game Gear happened on another trip home from Myrtle Beach. I'm not sure when, I think it was springtime, and I got really lucky. This game was like 19 bucks, and I somehow talked my precious mother into buying it, but she was not happy about it. I remember that. Luckily for me, I picked a great game, and that game was Shinobi. Hope you guys can see that through there. This game is amazing. I highly recommend Shinobi. I'm going to actually take this out of the case and let you guys see it a little better. Alright, so that is my Game Gear games that I got as a kid. Now I'll show you the Game Gear games I've gotten later in life since I started collecting. I got Lion King, which I haven't put much time into. I got Super Return of the Jedi. I thought this game would be a lot of fun, but I don't really like it. X-Men. I just wanted to be Gambit so bad. And I got Spider-Man, Return of the Sinister Six, Bart Simpson, Bart Meets Radioactive Man, I think that's the price I paid for it. Taz, and Escapes from Mars, Columns, which is kind of like Sega's version of Tetris, Batman Returns, and last but not least, Tails Adventure. I don't actively collect for the Game Gear. I don't find myself playing it that often. I can't even tell you the last time I played this. It had to be a few years ago. The only game I would like to have for it is Ninja Gaiden, but other than that, I don't see myself collecting for the Game Gear. But I'm still happy to have the one I had as a kid. Well guys, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. Like, comment, please subscribe and come back for more. Hit that bell for notifications. And share it on Twitter, Facebook, wherever you want. But guys, thanks so much for watching, and as always, and until next time, take care. Wow, you guys are still here, huh? What are you waiting on more? You think there's gonna be more next? You think there's gonna be all that and more next? Well, you're right, here it is. So guys, I wanted to share with you this cool book that I still have that I made as a kid. I'm going to try to get some good pictures of it, but basically, when I was a kid, I wanted to make my own Mortal Kombat book that told me all the moves, and I did a pretty good job for 12 years old. This is what I came up with. I'll try to pan slowly. So there's the title, Mortal Kombat. If you look at the O, there's Sonya's rings. The T is a sword for some reason. There's a scorpion thing coming out of the L there. Out of the bottom O is probably supposed to be Sub-Zero's freeze. Out of that B, I think that's Liu Kang's thing. And out of the T, that might be Raiden. I don't know whose thing that is. But that was the front. And as you scroll down here, you see Sega Game Gear written the way it was on the manuals. And welcome to the next level. Well, let's open this bad boy up and see what it looks like inside. So here it says Sega of America, and I cut out a picture to show all the characters. Thank God I didn't try to draw them. I wrote by J, and I wrote the Game Gear version, which is missing Kano, right? That's his name. So it's Sub-Zero. I think that's Johnny Cage, Liu Kang, Scorpion. The R stands for Raiden, and the final one I think is Sonya. So that's what that nonsense right there is. And then, so I gotta get closer to this camera to show you guys. So this is Scorpion. Scorpion apparently is what his name is. Scorpion, away 1 does the little get over here thing, and then the little slide kick is down away 1, and then the fire, which is his finishing move. Hold start, up. And you go up and there's Sub-Zero. How do you like these directions? Toward, down, toward 1. Why didn't I write forward? Why did I write toward? Who knows? And there's a pretty good little skeleton there I drew. Down, toward 1. I can't even say that word. Toward. Such a weird word. Try to say that. Here's Liu Kang's. Toward. Wait, let me get it in the camera. Toward plus 1. And then there's toward plus 2. And then there's his little down, back, up, toward, down. Does that little spinny kick. There's Raiden. There's that little disappear thing he does. There's his lightning. There's the thing where he flies across screen. It's not bad for my interpretation of that. Here's Sonya Blade. There's her little rings. That's supposed to be her doing the scissor grab. It looks like I don't know what that looks like, a squid or something weird. Who knows? It's supposed to be a girl doing a handstand with her legs in the air. There's Johnny Cage's fireball. There's the little shadow kick, and there's the ball punch. So silly. And then here's new moves I learned later for Scorpion, Sonya, Sub-Zero. The blood code 212 down up. That's probably Raiden, and then that's like the Kiss of Death by Sonya. And here's where you can start to see that I had some fanboyisms that I felt like I'd gotten left out of the Sega stuff. There's like an ad. I put an ad in the back. I put a picture of the Game Gear showing, you know, where the different buttons and stuff were. And then I had this down here, and it says, "Don't forget our home entertainment system, the Genesis. Your pal Sonic." Like, that's so silly. And then And then I had club members, which was TJ, and I was supposed to put who they were. Jay, I got to be Scorpion because I made the club. Mark, Bo, Brad, and Chris. I don't know if anybody ever officially joined this club or not. But, and then on the back, I just wrote Sega, and I tried to draw that dragon. But this is your more for this episode. This little book I made when I was a kid. That's pretty silly, but yeah, so hope you guys liked the more this time. And if you guys think you're getting out of watching Creepy Todd for 5 seconds, you're crazy. And now for 5 seconds with Creepy Todd.